County Annex, both symbols of our democratic republic. Across the street is the Log Cabin, home of the American Legion, an organization that allows our veterans to continue service in the community. And just a short distance down the road is a cemetery that is the final resting place of a number of Fayette sons who answered their nation's call. So in this place, the center of so much of what is right and good in our nation, we pause and reflect on what it means to be a veteran. Under federal law, a veteran is any person who serves honorably on active duty in the armed forces of the United States. Discharges marked general and under honorable conditions also qualify. Now, entry into service may have taken many forms. Some of you may be like Command Sergeant Major Melvin Lyles, my ROTC instructor. Sergeant Major Lyles was drafted into the Army to serve in Vietnam, and in it he found a career, serving over 30 years. Some of you may be like Staff Sergeant Greg Winters, my intelligence sergeant, who was given the choice of joining the Army or going to jail. Some joined solely for the benefits, to learn a skill or to earn money for college. All noble choices. But for the vast majority of us, entry into service was the fulfillment of a desire to be a part of something larger than ourselves, a call to duty, honor, and country. We raised our right hand and solemnly swore to support and defend the Constitution of the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. We entered a sacred pact with this nation to stand side by side our brothers and sisters in every branch of the service, to defend our homeland and advance the cause of freedom and liberty throughout the world. I am often asked, what does it mean to you to be a veteran? Well, on a basic level, it means that every time I see an American flag flying high on a flagpole or passing by with a color guard, there's an equal sense of pride in what our military has accomplished and sadness for the cost of victory and defeat. For like many of you, I have led soldiers into harm's way and have seen that same flag folded into a tight triangle and handed to a family member on behalf of a grateful nation. So what does it mean to me to be a veteran? Each time I put on my uniform, I tend to stand a little straighter, and I tend to move with a sense of purpose. Anytime I meet a fellow veteran, there is an instant connection and a bond that only those that have served can understand. Seldom is there a time while traveling in uniform that I'm not stopped by someone who either had served or had a family member that served. Some will buy me a cup of coffee or pay for my meal or just say a few words of thanks. But without fail, if I'm stopped by another veteran, we spend a few minutes talking about where they served, what job they had, and how things were either easier or harder when they were in the service. What does it mean to me to be a veteran? It means that I honor my grandfather, Jack Bramlett, who returned home from Europe a hero, but rarely spoke about the war. He simply returned to work and raised a family. It means I honor men like our own Larry Dell, who took so much of what was painful during the Vietnam War and turned it into a lifelong desire to honor the men of that era. It means that I honor families like the Baker family. Phil retired from the Army, and he and Jibby have 3 sons that are currently serving on active duty. What does it mean to me to be a veteran? It means that I honor my wife and 4 children for the sacrifice they have made over the last 20 years. And finally, in those moments like yesterday, at my daughter's elementary school, as the children sang "America the Beautiful" and read letters of thanks, I can't hold back the tears. Knowing the sacrifices generations of service members have made, and knowing the sacrifices future generations must make in order to preserve this ideal called freedom. So in closing, let me say a heartfelt thanks. Thank you for answering our nation's call. Thank you for standing for good over evil. Thank you for spending time away from your families in far-off places that most will not long remember. and thank you for the willingness to lay down your life for another. May God bless you. May God bless the state of Georgia. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.